එකපාරක් ගිහින් බාන ජිම් එකට හරි ස්ටුඩියෝ එකට හරි වෙනස තේරෙයි. One thing we realized was lot of Sri Lankans still don't know how to work out. Fitzky is one stop shop for you to explore options. We give free credits. We give them the option to just step into a gym once and see, do you like it? Fitness isn't a luxury. It's a part of your lifestyle. The whole world is now talking about mixing up your workouts.
ෆිට්නස් අදේදි ෆිට්නස් කියන්නේ එක ඉස්තටික් එකක්. එහෙම නැත්නම් එක ලුක් එකක්. එක ෆ්‍රේම් එකකට හිරවිච්ච දෙයක් බවට පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා. මේ කන්වර්සේෂන් එක නිසාම මේ වෙද්දී ෆිට්නස් කියන කන්වර්සේෂන් එකෙන් සම්පූර්ණ ලෙෆ්ට් අවුට් වුණ පිරිසක් ඉන්නවා. ඔබ ස්පෝර්ට්ස්මන් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔබ ස්පෝර්ට්ස් කිහිපයක් කරන කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. කෝච් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ජිම් ඕන කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි හෙල්දි ලයිෆ්ස්ටයිල් එකක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙමින් ඉන්න ඕනම කෙනෙක් මේ වෙද්දී ඇක්ෂන් එකක් ගත්ත, ෆිට් ඇක්ෂන් එකක් ගත්ත හෝ නොගත්ත ඕනම කෙනෙක්ට අවශ්‍ය වෙන කාරණාව තමයි අද අපි කතා කරන්න සූදානම් වෙලා ඉන්නේ. This is Fitzky, Sri Lanka's largest fitness marketplace. And here with us today, the founder of Fitzky, Mr. Shehan Adikari. Welcome to PodX, Mr. Shehan.
Thank you, Sir. Thanks for having me and very excited to be a part of the podcast today.
Okay. ඉතින් වෙනද වගේම නූතන ලෝකයේ වෙනස් සහ අලුත් දේවල් පිටිපස්ස තියෙන real journey experience සහ real executions වල පිටපත් ඔවුන්ගේ මහඬින් ඔබ වෙත සමීප කරන online අවකාශයේ PodX by Dextore. Welcome you all for the third episode. Shehan, I will come directly. What is Fitzky?
So Fitzky is Sri Lanka's first and largest marketplace. What we did was we brought in gyms, studios and brands into one platform. We wanted to make fitness affordable and accessible to everyone. අවුරුදු 3-4කට කලින් ගත්තොත් ඉස්සරු fitness was accessible only for the rich කියලා mindset එකක් තිබුණා. Gym එකට යනවා නම්, Pilates studio එකට යනවා නම්, this was not for the masses, right? So there was a mindset in Sri Lanka that fitness is for the elite and I need to have a lot of disposable cash to access a gym. So මේ mindset එක change කරන්න සහ ලංකාවේ මිනිස්සු හැමෝටම fitness වලට accessibility එකක් දෙන්න at an affordable price is how we started Fitzky. We've been in business for the last 4.5 years. This idea came into my mind right before COVID. So we started building Fitzky. The initial idea was to bring all the gyms into one place and I should be able to sort of discover what's around me. And then once we built, we were about to launch, I think in 2021, March. And that's when the world saw something called COVID. So I was also taken a bit by that lockdown. We didn't know what a lockdown was about. So then 2.5 years, we kept building the product. And right after that, Sri Lanka went through an economic downturn. And post the downturn is when we really launched the product as well. So we've been in proper operation for the last 2.5 years, I would say. We started off with gyms and now we connect all studios, all the fitness brands in Sri Lanka and making it accessible and affordable to anyone. Our purpose of existence is fitness isn't a luxury. It's a part of your lifestyle. And there is a fitness option available for anyone that fits your pocket. And we are a platform where you can explore all options that fits you.
Okay. So you have mentioned that this is accessible for all over the Sri Lanka and all over the gyms and everything, that the studios that focus on fitness, right? So I mean Fitzky is identified as Sri Lanka's largest fitness marketplace. But marketplace එකක් කියන එකෙන් imply කරනවා මීට කලින් broken system එකක් තිබිලා තියෙනවා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම. Actually I want to know who does exactly Fitzky serve?
That's a good question, Isuru. So basically, we have two sets of customers. One is the business owners, people who start a gym, people who run a studio, people who run their own apparel brand, supplement shop, anything to do with fitness and wellness, need a platform to showcase themselves. So there was nothing like that in Sri Lanka. And the market was also not very saturated 3-4 years ago. If you look at pre-COVID, uh, the number of gyms that was in Sri Lanka and the number of studios was very less. You could count, you know the names back then, right? From that to today, there are gyms opening up every month. There is a studio opening up every month. The market is becoming saturated. When the market becomes saturated, now there's a need for a customer to see all the businesses that's around you. So our first customer is that. Yes, there was a broken system, but there wasn't a need for a system also, because the demand or the supply was not there. Second customer is people who always thought fitness is very expensive. So again, pre-COVID era, people didn't really go to gym. People didn't really get involved in physical exercises also, right? That was not a need. So we created this opportunity for people to get a deal, right? To get a discount for your dream gym, right? So even if it's a very expensive gym, we will have a limited offer and it becomes accessible. It's like the airline industry also, right? Sometime back, traveling to Europe was a dream for many. Now you see so many people travel into Europe or the fancy destinations because air travel has become cheaper and more affordable, and that elevates the quality of life. So what we also did was, because the supply side was increasing and there were more gyms coming up, there were more studios coming up, the businesses also wanted volume, right? And to create that volume, you have to acquire that new customer. You can't have the old customer who used to just go gym and who was a bodybuilder and retain your business. So that new customer is what we were trying to find. And we were telling the new customer, hey, now it's affordable to you as well. There's a limited offer. You can find all the gyms around you. You can find the studios. That's how we created a customer who was never a customer for the fitness services. And that's what Fitzky is now serving.
As far as the market expands, right, the system is proportional to the volume,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Directly proportional.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's accelerating.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's give a clear picture of who this is for. But app එක download කරාට පස්සේ කෙනෙක් ඇත්තටම දකින්න ඕනේ මොකක්ද කියන කාරණේ අපි මෙතන clear කරගමු. So let's open the app. දැන් gym එකක් තෝරගන්න එක, class එකක් book කරන එක, එහෙම නැත්නම් looking for a good supplement. ඒවා app එකෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන් වුණු. දැන් මේ වෙද්දි කරන්න තියෙන ලංකාවේ මීට කලින් simply exist නොවුණු දෙයක්. මම හඳුනාගත්ත විදිහට. මම හරිනේද?
Yes, correct.
So let's go a walk through. මම user කෙනෙක් විදිහට ගමු. දැන් මම app එක download කරනවා. මට මොකද්ද directly app එකෙන් experience කරන්න පුළුවන්?
So app එක download කරාම ඉසුරු interfaces තුනක් තියෙනවා අපේ. Products තුනක් basically. එකක් තමයි gym deals. Gym deals වල ගියාම ඔයාලට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් all the gyms around you. First thing is that gym is a very location specific service you would go for. Either your office, either your home, etc. So you can see all the gyms around you. You can compare the gyms. You can compare pricing and see what is suitable for you. And our business model, our simple value proposition is that we are cheaper than the gym, right? Whatever the membership you get at the gym is cheaper on our platform. And that's an arrangement we have with the gyms as well. This is for someone who has decided, I'm going to a gym, I'm buying this membership, now I want to get a good price for it as well. It's not an easy customer journey also. මොකද හිත හදාගන්න ඕනේ සෑහෙන දේවල් වලට to get to this point, right? Especially in a culture like this, right? So that was one product. Then we were realizing the biggest issue this industry has is the lack of appetite to work out. Go to a gym or go to a studio. Building that initial habit is a challenge, right? We'll come to that later on also, Isuru. And to address this is why we built something called FitPass. And the whole idea was, a person when he starts going to a gym, And if you really love the transformation you go through, you will continue that habit. And that's how habits are formed. You start something and you get a reward, right? Only if you get a reward, you start liking that, or you keep doing it again and again. I read this book called Atomic Habits. And when I read that book, this idea came into my mind. Why don't we allow people to start the habit before we sell something big? When I say big, gym memberships are very expensive, right? So, and people put down 40, 50, 60,000 rupees, if not 100,000 rupees sometimes. And that's a very hard thought through decision, right? And of course, cost of living issues are there. So this is not priority for people. So second product is FitPass. That's where we allow people to formulate a habit. We have 200 plus gyms and studios. We have done some arrangement with all of those businesses to allow people to come and just try a single pass or a single entry. Just go to the gym, go to the studio and try working out. Anything. Not everyone loves gym. Not everyone loves heavy weights. Some people like yoga. Some people like to do Pilates. Some people like a very high intense workout. Some people like swimming. Some people like to do badminton. So anything you want to keep yourself active, we wanted to give access so that you help someone to create a habit. So our second product is FitPass, and that's where we support people for habit formulation. The third product is we realized all these people who want to formulate a habit or who is active, who may not go to a gym or a studio, also wants a lot of other things to consume. An average person spends about 200,000 rupees per annum to be active on average. And bulk of that happens in accessories, clothing, shoes, supplements, whatnot. So we wanted to bring all the brands who are in this space. We wanted to give an opportunity even for upcoming brands in all these categories to be visible to our customers. So we have about 15,000 customers now, active customers. So all 15,000 customers now have access to a marketplace where clothing brands, supplement brands, nutrition brands, sleep, to whatever you call it, a protein bar, a person, putting up a nice protein snack at home who's doing a super job, but he or she doesn't have a platform to communicate this to customers. Fitzky marketplace is for them. So we have now the brands also on board. So these are the three products a customer will now enjoy. And also we are a place to get a good deal. I mean, that's our core value as well. We want to make it affordable for people. So when you buy something, let's say a gym membership or a FitPass, you get credits back. You can redeem those to buy a t-shirt. So that's the whole ecosystem we have built. So anything to do with fitness, or if you're looking at a fitness lifestyle, Fitzky is one-stop shop for you to explore options and get value for money.
Kohedha is a real-time discovery platform connecting urban users with hospitality venues through live intent signals. Users research dish-level ratings and claim exclusive, time-sensitive deals. Vendors utilize a dashboard to manage occupancy, fire radius notifications, and create artificial scarcity to drive immediate foot traffic. If that sounds like something you want to be a part of, whether you are a food lover hunting the best deals or venue owner looking to fill seats faster, sign up and join the waitlist right now. The link is right down below in the description. Don't sleep on this. Back to the episode. Instead of explaining just the app features, it was something systematic. And as I noticed, it was what you call a visionary background, and also a psychological perspective.
Yes.
In 3 words.
Yeah. Yes, correct. Because I think as a startup, when we started, to be very honest with you, I'm not a person who went to gym, right? I think Anuda was asking me also, what made you start this business? I went to St. Joseph's, so I was not involved in sports. I was never an active person, right? I didn't even know what it means by going to gym. So this is pre-COVID era, right? I never went to gym. Some of my friends used to say that I'm like this drug lord, who sells drugs but don't consume, right? So initial first 6 months, 1 year, I was building the tech. I was more passionate and interested about the tech, but not the actual service. But then when I was in Middle East once, right after COVID, and then there was an investor. And when I was having this discussion about Fitzky and launching in Middle East, he said, "You're not consuming the product," because I used to be very fat and looking unfit also. And that really sort of challenged myself as well. Okay, I'm building something, but I'm not consuming it. Because I started with the idea of connecting all gyms together, right? But I never wanted to sort of use it and see. And then I realized I had a struggle to get into the habit, right? So that's what sort of pushed me to come up with FitPass. Similar models are there in the world, in the US as well. But the purpose here is different because in the US, being fit is embedded to the culture. Getting up in the morning, going for a run is normal. You can be an intern, you can be a CEO, everyone's running or everyone's in the gym. There are 80 million people in the US who goes to gym. That's a huge percentage out of their population. In Sri Lanka, the total active population is only about 300, 400,000 at maximum. We are way behind culturally and that. So we want to see how we can, and I realized habit formation is the problem. And I had the problem as well. So that's how I think when you hit a challenging point, and when an investor asks you that question, that was my problem, I realized, look, this is how I should solve this. And that made me also go to a gym once, twice, then I liked it, then I started doing different types of workout, and now over the last couple of years, I'm a very much of a regular gym goer. Not because I run Fitzky, it because I've realized the benefit of it. So I know the reward. If I don't go to gym, I can't function properly. So yeah, that was the reason. That was the thought process behind building FitPass.
So talking about a backstory, every product, every new invention, there is a drug load behind it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Which is very familiar to that
Yes.
field or something. But most of it, even it's not what you call, not even familiar with the field, right? Every startup, when we are considering about every founder, whoever did the risk, who had the risk, they not even considered about what is the fielding that I'm going through. I had some failures, I had some frustrations, I had some gaps. They had a moment, they had a feeling, okay, I should do this, I should establish this, I should start up, I should go for the startup. So what was the pain point that you personally felt, right? I mean, but personally, this is my Fitzky moment.
To start Fitzky or when I'm running Fitzky?
To start Fitzky.
There was no pain point, to be honest. I was employed at Brandix, so I had a very different career. I was in supply chain. My education was in civil engineering, SEMA, etc. So very much finance, supply chain. That's why I said haven't even stepped into a gym. I didn't even know how a gym looked like. But then when I used to work at Brandix, that's when I saw how a Sri Lankan company conquering the world. We had huge operations in India. We used to supply to all the big brands in the world. I was fortunate to deal with large corporates, large entrepreneurs, and that kind of inspired me to build something out of Sri Lanka that can be taken to the world. And back then I saw health fitness as a potential trend in the next 10 years. In 2020, Sri Lanka wasn't ready for this, but I believe now everyone's talking about it. we are talking about longevity, right? You see people investing millions of dollars to stay young when you're 70. Now, if I ask you, Isuru, right, what do you want to be when you're 70? Do you want $10 million in your bank and be sick? Or are you okay with 10 million rupees in your bank but you're super fit? You'll take the second option, right? This is
Definitely.
where the world is heading. And for some reason, I had that thought 5 years ago when I had this idea. Sri Lanka wasn't ready, but I guess now the world is getting there. We all are talking about the importance of health and fitness. There's enough prominence given to health and fitness, and I'm glad that we are Fitzky is a part of this journey in Sri Lanka, and we are doing some exciting things as well at Fitzky because we're a tech company. We were also thinking how we could sort of eliminate some of the barriers people have in working out. And one thing we realized was a lot of Sri Lankans still don't know how to work out. Right? Globally, it's the same problem, but Sri Lankans, this part of the world, Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, we never had a culture of working out. Right? Have you worked out in school? No, unless you're a sportsman. Right? I mean, I have a lot of friends who are sportsmen. Right? They go to gym. Right? When we were kids, going to gym, let's say if you're doing A levels or O levels or doing in your university, we never went to gym. I remember I was in University of Moratuwa. The gym at University of Moratuwa, all the equipment was rusted. Malagadagala. Right? Because no one goes there. People hardly go. So you're talking about the engineering faculty, right? Or probably when you do maths, that's probably the best university you can go to. But the gym was in a corner of the campus and no one went there because it's not embedded to our culture. So I think so. What we are currently doing is using tech to help people to work out. So we have built a very advanced AI to correct posture. We're looking at partnering with. We've already partnered with a lot of gyms in the Middle East and Europe to offer this as a B2B service. So we are on a mission to use tech to help people be fitter and healthier. So that's our story and moving forward as well.
I don't think it's a brief introduction about your history.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah,
it's not right.
It's a lot of emotions, a lot of history behind as to where we are and why we do this business also.
That's why even now even for me, I had a quite belief right now in about Fitzky.
Yes.
Yeah. Before talking about this app and each features, right? Everyone is getting hesitated, right? What should I do with another app, right? There are a lot of apps in App Store, maybe Play Store, but there is a small hesitation. Okay, should I take a step or not, right? I think with that story, with that history, people should believe, okay, this guy has a quite background. I should make a step.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, so in that story, I have to ask this one. දැන් හැම පිවට් ඩිෂන් එකක් ගත්තහම මේ ඩිෂන් එකට යද්දී ඔබටත් දැන් ටීම් එකක් ඉන්න ඇති. ෆීචර්ස් මේ විෂන්ස් මේ ටෆස් කෝල්ස් මේ හැම දේම මේ ස්ටෙප් එකට යන හැම වෙලාවකම ඒ ගිය හැම තැනකම අනිවාර්යෙන් හාඩස්ට් කෝල් එකක් තියෙන්න ඇති එක තැනකදී. What was it?
I think the hardest call was Isuru during COVID. Because so I just quit my job, right, and started doing this. Of course, I had some other, income sources also. But when you quit a very senior role in corporate at a very young age, and you're used to a high salary, and all of a sudden no salary, and then something called COVID comes in, the world doesn't know when it will end. And our platform was built to have gyms, studios, but gyms are completely off, right? There was no even date where the gym would even open, right? We did some online classes back then just to keep afloat. So I was also thinking, this is like the stupidest thing I started, right? And the world is very uncertain as well. And maybe world might not come back to normalcy for a long time, because I was self-funding this business back then, right? So there's only a little much you can fund yourself, right? You just keep burning, and these tech building tech is not easy. The cost of developments are high, etc. Yeah, so there was a point I thought maybe I should drop this business. The learning from that is, Isuru, I think anyone who starts, uh, it's going to take good 4 or 5 years for you to figure out a business. Um, you just have to be lean in doing business, I think. I think that's when maybe the finance element came into play. How do you keep the cost really low? How do you operate without any, you know, bleeding of profit margins? You don't have to sell your vehicle to survive. So those sort of lessons are very important to just hang on and then ensure that, there's one fine day where the world will need your business. And at that point, you scale. So that's the journey of Fitzky as well.
For some people, the COVID was a blessing. Instead of talking the deaths of the people and the disastrous times that we have been through, people secretly build up their own goodwills and what we call the healthy lifestyle. People focused on, I should do some exercises, I should get some healthy foods. I think not giving up, right, was the blessing for you too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, secretly building that platform after end of at the end of the COVID, people started to go through some what you call technological. Even with the technological advancements, right, they went through some cultures that basically fitted into fitness. Especially they discovered some. They developed some what you call international background. They went through all of these things and they discovered what is going through, what is actually having in the other countries right now. So what are the things that we have to make to making a decision, what we have to do. So in that point, they also discovered, okay, even in the fitness, even in the food, diet programs and diet schedules, we have to go through those whatever the things that is good for them, whatever the things that is healthy for people. So it was a blessing, right? It was a good push for your product also. ඔබ කතා කළා දැන් සෙකන්ඩ් ක්වෙස්චන් එකේදී අපි කතා කරා මේ ඇප් ෆීචර්ස් ගැන. ඇප් ෆීචර්ස් වලදී දෙවෙනියට සඳහන් කරපු කාරණා තමයි FitPass කියන්නේ. What exactly FitPass is?
So FitPass is Isru that gives you access through one pass. You can access 200 plus gyms, studios, and sports venue, etc. Right? So that's what FitPass is about. Like I said before, it's a habit formation tool. You can try different gyms, you can try different classes. There are two purposes behind FitPass. One is to help people to formulate habits. The second is the latest research in the world is on this concept called HRV. I don't know whether you've heard of it. It's called the heart rate variability. What is heart rate variability? That's the variability of your heart rate between two intervals. Now, this is a very technical term, and I'm not qualified to talk about it. But a lot of sportsmen around, a lot of businessmen around, a lot of scientists around the world are talking about the importance of HRV. Now, how does it impact our lives? When you work, let's say all you guys are working, right? We are having a 9 to 5, some work that we get engaged in, right? It could be our corporate life, it could be our studies, it could be a lot of decision making we do, our businesses, etc. We take a lot of decisions, right? Every day we take critical decisions. Now, whether it's right or wrong is a different story. Now, for your decision making to happen properly, your nervous system has to be calm. Right? That's why when you're stressed or when you're not in a proper state of mind, the decisions you take tend to be incorrect, right? And it could happen to anyone. It could happen to the so-called great business minds as well. Elon Musk talks about taking wrong decisions, right? And at $800 billion wealth, 10 times the GDP of Sri Lanka is his wealth, he still makes wrong decisions. So, on a daily basis, we have to ensure as individuals that we take right decisions, and that is supported by how calm our nervous system is. Our nervous system calmness is reflected by this metric called HRV, right? The heart rate variability. Now, what is this heart rate variability and how does it impact? There are a lot of factors that impacts heart rate variability. Number one is your fitness levels, right? How fit you are matters a lot, right? Your heart rate is supposed to be low when you're resting, and heart rate goes up when you're active. And you need to ensure that your resting heart rates come down as much as low as possible when you sleep, because then only you recover for a better tomorrow, right? When you wake up in the morning, you feel off, right? If you don't have proper sleep, or if you consume alcohol, if you've, let's say, gone on a long flight, the next day is gone. I mean, we call it hangover, right? But the real problem is your body is not recovered. And if your body is not recovered, you can't take a proper decision. Now, what I'm trying to get at is, even if you keep all those things aside, for you to be having a good HRV, and that supports decision making, your fitness shouldn't be just one sided, right? Now, the latest research says going to gym on a Monday, I mean, I shouldn't be talking about this also, but they say going to gym on a Monday evening or Monday morning is not that good. Because on a Monday, you go to gym and you do a heavy, let's say, leg workout, right? Your muscles are sore, right? Right? I mean, even if you're going to gym every day, you do a heavy leg workout, your thighs are paining, your glutes are hurting, your body is sore, right? And Tuesday and Wednesday, you're not the fittest because your body is now trying to recover those damaged muscles. And your HRV may not be as great as you not doing it, right? So it impacts your decision making. So on a Tuesday, you have a very important meeting for a lot of decision making, and your body is like you've gone to a fight, because what happens in a workout is the muscles will damage, and then while it's been repaired, it grows and it becomes stronger, right? So now it's a different world, it's a different way of looking at things also. They say the best time for a corporate, I'm not talking about an athlete, but for a normal human being, right, who goes to the gym just to keep themselves fit, it's good to go on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Because now you have enough time to recover and Monday is fresher. What HRV experts talk is you should mix up your workouts with a gym session. You have to do a lot of meditation and yoga. Now, Sri Lanka is a Buddhist country. I myself is a Catholic, but I've heard a lot about meditation, yoga, etc. Now, the Western world is crazy about meditation and yoga because that calm your nervous system, and your HRV improves significantly. People like Sam Altman, he meditates 1 hour a day. And sometimes it could be just attending a yoga class or breathing, etc. I mean, there are so many techniques. Now, that is what pushes your HRV up. Mobility is another problem we have. Sri Lanka as a country, we suffer with a lot of lack of mobility when we age. We see most of our parents having a hunched back because we sit in the office for 9-10 hours. Probably we might do a little bit of workout here and there, but if you don't fix your mobility in your body, as you age, you become hunched and you need support, right? You will not be able to be that smart, good-looking 70-year-old, right, if you don't work on your mobility. And workouts like Pilates helps you to gain mobility, to ensure that that is intact as well. VO2 max is another metric the whole world talks about. It's how fit you are, right? Now I don't know whether you can run a marathon. I can't run a marathon, right? As we age, our VO2 max comes down. Now, doing high intensity workouts help you to regain your VO2 max and be fit, right? And sometimes you see some old gentlemen, right? They're fit as hell. They can walk 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers a day. They don't feel tired. I know some people who just, fly 20 hours to the US and then attend a meeting, turn back and come, not tired at all. They're fit. Now that improves again with your with high intensity workouts. So the whole world is now talking about mixing up your workouts. You go to gym, you work on your strength and training, then your muscles are intact. You go to yoga class, you calm your mind, the breathing, the calming the nervous system is important. You try a bit of Pilates or something to do with mobility. You try a bit of swimming. You do a bit of HIIT workout. You play badminton or something. That's fun because you interact with people. There's a purpose to the game also. We want to win that game, right? You'll never play badminton or a pickle or paddle without having the intention of winning, right? So that blends you in. And this overall helps you to improve your HRV. So this was our second purpose behind it. The one is to help people formulate habits. Just try any place and get into your habit. And number two, improve your HRV with the variety of workouts you can access through us and be better at decision making. If as a country, if we take better decisions, whether it's corporate, whether it's non-corporate, government, etc., I think we'll have a better place for the future as well. So that's our purpose with FitPass, the deeper purpose with FitPass.
When you're talking about the motivation and discipline, these are quite few words that we are familiar with when it comes to fitness, especially some coaches around in Sri Lanka and also internationally, as well as they wanted to focus on a strict schedule. Even as an example, the karate. There are 4 styles. Okay, those 4 styles are based on some different purposes. Like for Goju, it's like speed and strength both. So when we are talking about some top class athletes in the world, even the Serena Williams, she also moved into doing some yoga after spending a lot of time just for the fitness. Then she proved that after starting yoga, she was able to win many championships, and she's been through a lot of things. And she proved that yoga was effective to improve her mobility. Then a sport like tennis was kind of hell for her, because sacrificing a lot in lifetime and not winning championships, it's a mentally breakdown. It's a mental breakdown for a top class athlete who is selected the sport as a profession. So I have to ask this too. Instead of focusing on motivation, the discipline, the word called discipline, how effective for the fitness?
Yeah, I think that's the most effective thing, Isuru. I think, you will also get into the discipline if you have a reward. See, us as human beings, you will only do something every day or repeatedly if there's something in it for you. Okay? Either it should be fun. Some people go out every Friday night and have a drink. Let's say you go out with your friends, go to a bar. Why? Now that's discipline. You're disciplined to go out on a Friday night and drink. That's because we think there's a return, right? I enjoy, right? I like that feeling. I meet my friends. We think we'll forget our stress. We are tired, etc. So I think there has to be a reward for you to have that habit and build that discipline to that as well. Because fitness is always a choice, right? In school, we had to go to school before 8 o'clock because otherwise we'll get punished, right? So you create the discipline out of fear. Fitness is not like that, right? Because you don't get punished in the short run. You get punished when you're 50, 60, but then it's too late, right? You already have blocks in your heart. You've already picked up diabetes, too late. So I think that's why what we also believe is that people have to find that reward. It could be productivity. If you ask me honestly, why do I go to the gym? Because I think I can work better. I'm fitter during work, right? So if I hit the gym in the morning or do a workout in the evening, I know I can take better decisions. I can work till 2 o'clock in the night. I don't feel tired. Well, that's my reward because I have certain tasks, I have certain goals, and this is helping me to achieve them. For some, it's to look good, right? That's why you will have a lot of gym selfies, right? To show improvement, to show that you are, putting up your six packs or gaining your biceps, etc. Right? That's a reward. Some people have fun doing it, right? They love to meet people. They love to show off their clothes, right? In the US, there was a study. The main reason why people go to gym is to show off their clothing, right? I think some clothing brands in Sri Lanka have really capitalized that, right? You buy something nice, now you want to go to gym because that's where you wear it and put a Instagram story. Once you find that reward, you're disciplined. So we as Fitzky, we are trying to help people to find that reward. And hopefully that disciplines them to at least work out few times a week. The question you asked about Serena Williams, these are people who've trained their minds so well, right? I think these are sometimes for people like you and me, Isaru, right? Those examples don't work also. Because we'll think, that is Serena Williams, no? Right? No, but I have to get up tomorrow and go to the job, no? Right? My boss won't treat me like Serena Williams, right? My boss will say, you work till 9 o'clock in the night and finish off. That's how we think, because we think those are celebrated people. They have the luxury of doing whatever they want. So I think we have to be also a little practical also, right? Because we live in a very fast moving world, and then tomorrow your parents are sick, the next day you have some party, then another day you have a office function, then you have a deadline, then you have a dane, right? So it's a never ending lifestyle, fast paced lifestyle we have. So I think in that, if you don't find that reward of yours, you will never be able to get disciplined, and you will never will. So I think we are trying to solve part of that issue by giving people option to explore different types of workouts and see whether it's fun for you, right? We give them the option to just step into a gym once and see, do you like it, right? So earlier, I mean, you will have to pay a huge amount to get a gym membership. Now you just, bust few thousand rupees at max and step into a gym. And then you feel, is it good, right? Yeah, so I think we are just trying to solve 10% of the problem. But I think that we've succeeded in that as well. We currently have about 1,200 FitPass users. We launched this about 4 months ago. And the beauty we feel, I mean, of course, it's a business we run, so we want to make money as well. But the most satisfying feeling for us is these 1,200 people are more or less recurring, right? They keep buying the FitPass, right? So we also know that these people have now gotten into a habit, and they just keep exploring different places, different gyms, etc. 1,000 people is 0.00005 of the population, but these are the people who will inspire everyone else around them as well. So that's our purpose. And answering your question, yeah, discipline is important, but you'll also have to ask yourself, what's that reward that makes you disciplined? It's a very hard question to ask.
When it's come to rewards and discipline, I have to ask this one because we came to an interesting point. Like compared to US countries, the Asian countries are basically focused on the career and typical jobs, right? That comes from even with the force of the parents, right? Generation by generation. Now it's kind of changed. But uh, as we are taking some examples from the historic stories of some iconic characters like Kumar Sangakkara, maybe Muttaya Muralidharan, and also MS Dhoni, they had quite a background that they also at some point of their life they had to give up their sport and focus on their career. As an example, MS Dhoni had to work in a railway station, right? And even the Muttaya Muralidharan. So I believe, in my point, I believe for Asian countries, having a good schedule will be helpful for their career, especially when they are focusing on the sports career. Still, in Sri Lanka, we are believing in some kind of respective job, doing a respective job, meanwhile focusing on the sport. Does Fitzky believe in a schedule?
See, we are we are using technology to see whether we could support that, right? So we are in the process of building a AI powered schedule, right, for people who don't know how to work out. Let's say, for example, you're joining a gym and you don't want to get a trainer yourself. We will generate the workout plan for you. This is still in production, so it will be available in a couple of months. We have a posture AI which is coming in as well. It will help you to correct your posture whether you're doing it properly. Yeah, so technically or from a technological angle, we are looking at pushing people to do that. But it all starts with that first move, right? Where you make up your mind to go there. Even for you to stick to a schedule, you have to think that I need a schedule, right? Now, that is, I believe, is the hardest sell. What we see is selling fitness in Sri Lanka is not easy, right? I think as an industry, it's growing, but it's not easy. I think I'm sure I'm talking on behalf of the entire gym and studio and the brand industry as well. It's challenging. For a restaurant to pick up and sell a kottu is far easier than selling a gym membership, right? I mean, we give free credits, so it's literally free. You can go into any gym, any studio, it's just free for a couple of sessions. You just don't have to pay anything, and these are very expensive places as well. Still, it's a hard sell, right? So it's a mindset change which we are trying to sort of do, and I believe it's on a positive trajectory. But I think it needs a lot of awareness and education from all brands, all businesses to tell people as to why they should be fit.
අපි කතා කළා රූටීන්ස් වල වෙරයිටි එකක් ගැන. ඒ කියන්නේ කිහිපයක් කරන දේ මික්ස් අප් කරගන්න එක ෆිට්නස් රූටීන්ස් වල. මේ මල්ටිපල් ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ගැන කතා කරද්දී බොහෝ අයට දැන් ෆිට්නස් කියන්නේම එක ජිම් එකක්. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් එක රූටීන් එකක්, එක රිසල්ට් එකක්. හැබැයි දැන් මූවමන්ට් එකක් රිපීට් කරන්න ශරීරය කවදාවත් ඩිසයින් කරලා නැති කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවනේ. දැන් බොහෝ දෙනෙක් එහෙම තමයි. එකම මූවමන්ට් එක රිපීට් කරන්න they actually අර ඔබ කිව්වා වගේ රෙස්පොන්සිබිලිටි එකක් එක්ක එහෙම නැත්නම් අර ෂෙඩියුල් අපි ෆෝස් වෙන ෆැක්ට් එකක් නැති තැන ගොඩ දෙනෙක් තමන්ගේ ෂෙඩියුල් එක අතාරිනවා. it has to be come in from the inside. දැන් එතකොට දැන් ට්‍රෙඩ්මිල් එක ට්‍රේන් වුණ කෙනෙක්ගේ කාඩියෝවැස්කියුලර් සිස්ටම් එකක් ගත්තාම දැන් ස්විමිං, ස්ට්‍රෙන්ත් වර්ක්, මොබිලිටි වලට එක්ස්පෝස් වුණ සිස්ටම් එකකට වඩා එහෙම කෙනෙක් දැන් මේ අර රෙස්පොන්ස් කරන විදිය ස්ට්‍රෙස් වගේ දෙයකට ડિප්‍රෙෂන් වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඕන මෙන්ටල් ස්ටේට් එකකට රෙස්පොන්ස් කරන විදිය is completely different. මගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ මේකයි. දැන් WHO එකත් රෙකමන්ඩ් කරනවා දැන් ඇරබික්ස් ඊට පස්සේ මොනවාද muscle strengthening workout and balancing activity combine, not just one discipline. දැන් ෂයන් දැන් එක ස්පෝර්ට් එකකින් එහාට කවදාවත් එක්ස්ප්ලෝර් නොකරන කෙනෙක්ගේ බොඩි එකකට මොකක්ද වෙන්න පුළුවන්?
ඔය ප්‍රශ්න උත්තර දෙන්න මම qualified නැහැ අයිසරු, right? Because I'm a software guy, right? It's not a sports science doctor or whatever. But I think මම හිතන්නේ මේ ප්‍රශ්නෙට උත්තරේ HRV metric එක, right? when you're mixing up things, your heart rate variability is far superior, and then that makes you a more calmer and relaxed person. You're physically and mentally you're relaxed as well. I think that's the science behind it, but I'm not qualified to answer that question, to be honest, Isuru. I think the best answer to that question is people should try, right? What we all say is just go for a spin class, go for a Zumba class, just enjoy, right? You might not be the best person in shape, but just go for it, right? And once you go for it, your body, you will know the answer to this question. You don't have to be a doctor for that. You will feel better, right? And once you start feeling better, I think that's what you want, right? Once your body starts feeling better, then this whole discipline issue, routine issue, schedule issue comes to a stop. One thing I forgot to mention, if you're really indisciplined, and what I did was also get a trainer, right? I mean, these are all of Fitzky, but then all the gyms have trainers. Where studios got to isuru. Why studios work better is there's a fixed time. Like yoga class, or Pilates, 5 o'clock the class starts. So you have to go at 5, and you booked also. So there is an element of ඉස්කෝලේ අරට යන්න ඕනේ කතාව, ඔෆිස් එකේ නම් ඉන්න කතාව, there is an element because you booked that place. Once you don't go, fine, right? Second time you book, you'll think in vain 3,000 4,000 rupees, then you're pushed to go, right? So I think people who are struggling with discipline, this is one aspect. You have a trainer, you call the trainer and say, I'm coming today, I can cancel, but I can't cancel every day, right? I think that's another investment people can make, getting yourself a trainer. I think there are really good trainers in every gym, not only the gyms we've partnered with, but every gym in Sri Lanka. There are really good trainers, and they will just call you and say, "Ennatha, adanang karanna mone." Sometimes that word goes a long way because it's someone else's job also, right? Once you book that slot saying that I'm coming at 4 o'clock, you can't be missing that every day because then how will he live? It's his job, right? So sometimes that pushes you also. ඊට පස්සේ you get into the routine. Then once you go, you like the workout. දෙතුන් පාරක් ගොම යනකොට I think it's fun, right? So yeah, if you are struggling with discipline, book a class or book a trainer.
මෙතන දැන් මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ මම අහන්න හේතු වුණු කාරණේයි ඔබ දුන්න ආන්සර් එකත් එක්ක මගේ සම්පූර්ණ මයින්ඩ් එකේ පර්ස්පෙක්ටිව් සම්පූර්ණ වෙනස් වුණා. දැන් මම මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ අහන්න හේතුව ඇත්තටම කලින් අවස්ථාවේදී මේ ඔබේ ඇප් එකේම ඔබම ඇප්ලයි කරලා තියෙනවා මේ මල්ටිපල් ජිම්ස් ඇන්ඩ් මල්ටිපල් ස්ටුඩියෝස් ඔප්ෂන් එක. ට්‍රයි අවුට් එකකට යනකොටත් වෙහා මෙතන එක්ක මෙඩිකල් නෙසෙසිටි එකක් එහෙමත් නැත්නම් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් මෙතන කන්වීනියන්ස් ෆීචර් එකක් තියෙනවා කියන එක හිතන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද ඇත්තටම බෙනිෆිට් එක ෆිට්ස්කි ඇප් එකේ මේ මල්ටිපල් ජිම්ස් මල්ටිපල් ස්ටුඩියෝස් කියන ඔප්ෂන් එක ඇතුළත් කරන්න.
ඒක ඇත්තටම පර්පස් එක උනේ ඉස්සරු people like to have options, right? දැන් හිතන්නකෝ Uber Eats එකට ගියා කියලා. Uber Eats එකේ එක රෙස්ටෝරන්ට් එකයි නේ තියෙන්නේ. Then you might not go on Uber Eats, right? You like variety. By nature, humans love variety, right? So we just wanted to give all the options possible. Number 2, we are a marketplace, Isuru. So every business, whether it's a small gym or whether it's a very high-end gym, it's a business in the fitness industry, right? So we want to give a platform to everyone to be present also, right? And it depends on people's budgets, right? Where they are. හිතන්නකෝ අද මම ඉන්නේ බතර මුල්ල, right? හෙට මම දවසම බේස් වෙලා ඉන්නේ කොළඹ. But I want to keep my routine going, right? So you have an option in Colombo as well. So I think it's flexibility and variety, that's what we give.
ෂයන් දැන් අපි මේ පොඩ්කාස්ට් එකේ ආරම්භයේ ඉඳලම කතා කරේ හරිම කම්ප්ලෙක්ස් මාතෘකා කිහිපයක්. ෆිට්නස් ගත්තාම බොඩි එක ගත්තාම මේ හැම දෙයකම ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන්ස් නැතුව ඉස්සරහට යනවා කියන්නේ මෙතන පොඩි අමාරු වැටෙන්න තියෙන අවස්ථා වැඩි. සම්භාවිතාව වැඩි. දැන් worldwide 67% of gym memberships completely unused. දැන් මේ new members ලා අතරින් ගත්තාම half is quitting within 6 months. එතකොට මේ industry එක quietly profit කරනවා. හරි by overselling memberships එහෙම නැත්නම් even from the never returners they are actually taking the fees sometimes. I mean because it's a contract, right? Applying for a gym membership. දැන් මේ model එක ඇත්තටම broken ද එහෙමත් නැත්නම් why has nobody fixed until now?
Yeah, it's a good question, Isuru. See, the fitness market is a very heavy capital intense business. Gym එකක් open කරනවා කියන්නේ it's a significant investment, right? අපි ඒ පැත්ත දකින්නේ නැහැ සමහරලාට, right? So I think in Sri Lanka it's a minimum of 40-50 million rupee investment. So people want to, I mean business එකක් විදිහටනේ හැම එකක්ම දුවන්නේ, නැත්තම් කවුරුත් කරන්නෙත් නෑනේ. ඒ business එක profitable නැත්තම් මෙතන gyms තියෙන්නෙත් නෑ ලංකාවේ. එතකොට unused gym membership is a good question, but it's at the discretion of the customer, right? Sometimes because the gym will never say don't come, right? Gym will never say don't come to the gym, right? Once you buy a membership you can always walk in. This industry plays with that emotion of people where people like to have unlimited access, right? ඒක ලංකාව විතර නෙමෙයි. කියන්නේ හිතන්නකො Netflix ගත්තත් සමහරව Netflix එකට $20ක් ගෙවනවා එක මූවි එකක් බලන්නේ නැහැ, right? But you like to have the option of watching all the movies all 30 days, right? Same with gym, right? See, it's running a gym is not easy, right? I think if you look at it in Sri Lankan context also, there are a lot of overheads, the electricity cost, the trainers, the equipment, ඒක maintain කරන්න ඕනේ. හැමදාම gym කෙනෙක්ගේ එන loss එක significant. මොකද weights උඩ පල්ලෙහා හැමදෙස්සෙම යනකොට the machine has to be replaced. So I think there's a big running cost as well. මේකට උත්තරේ ඉසුරු I think Fitzky, because if you think you're going to pay a big amount upfront and you think you're not going to go, use FitPass and just join the gym once and see. You're going to pay a very small amount, and once the habit is formed, and we have seen that, we've seen a lot of FitPass people, එකම gym එකට 4-5 පාරක් යනකොට then they feel I might as well get the membership because now my habit is formed, right? So I think it's in people's mind, right? It's in their hands to change these numbers, not the gym. Our industry loves when people buy and they don't turn up, right? Because if you look at a gym, they can't have 3,000 people at one go, right? Right? So there is always a mathematics behind it, right? Let's say X percentage will turn up at any given time. And ඒකට තමයි gym එක design කරන්නේ. So not everyone can come at the same time, for sure. I know some of my friends, they have told me, right, I have bought a gym membership at this gym. I paid 75,000 and I only went once කියලා.
උදා අපි කතා කරා broken system එකක් ගැන, broken model එකක් ගැන, මේකේ මොනවද හදන්න පුළුවන් fix කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් මොනවද, ගන්න පුළුවන් මොනවද steps කියන දේ අපි හොඳටම කතා කරා. ෂෙහන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ෆිට්නස් ගැන වැඩිපුරම අවශ්‍ය කෙනෙක් තමයි ස්ටෙප් එකක් තියෙන අඩුම සැලකිල්ලක් දක්වන්නේ. දැන් රිසර්චර්ස් කන්ෆර්ම් කරනවා it's not only about laziness but also financial, psychological and also structural barriers පව මේකට හේතු වෙලා තියෙනවා කියන එක. And also ඔබ ගොඩ දෙනෙක් first step එක ගන්න දැකලා තියෙනවා, right? Everything you have seen මේක අහගෙන ඉන්න health put off කරපු කෙනෙක්ට එයාගේ fitness journey එක start කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක ගැන ඔබට දෙන්න පුළුවන් honest advice එක මොකක්ද?
අපේ දැන් ඉන ජනාධිපතිතුමා කිව්වා එකපාරක් දීලා බලන්න කියලා. මටත් කියන්න තියෙන්නේ එකපාරක් ගිහින් බලන gym එකට හරි studio එකට හරි. වෙනස තේරෙයි.
Okay, Shehan, we are about to end the conversation with this question. For those listening who are terrified to take a leap, looking back at your journey, what is the one piece of advice you would give them to prove gamble is worth the struggle?
So I think passion is overrated, heavily overrated. I don't think successful people go behind passion, but what they go behind is uh, showing up every day. Right? I think that I believe in that. Right? I show up every day. I believe every day that Fitzky would become a business that touches thousands of lives, and I show up for that purpose. If it is passion, I'll probably do something else, right? So I think my advice for young entrepreneurs is whoever who's starting up is that you believe in something. If you have the confidence that you can do it, keep showing up every day. Someday, people will start accepting you, right? Sometimes the world might not be ready for it also, right? It depends on the business you are doing. If you are doing a very standard commodity based business, B2B business, it's easier. A more B2C business, the market has to be ready. The consumer should know that this business could give them value. So it might take some time, but keep showing up. That's my advice.
Okay, so thank you so much, Shehan, for coming on the show and sharing your product journey but deeper problem that you are trying to solve. අද කන්වර්සේෂන් එක ෆිට්ස්ගේ ඇප් එක ගැන විතරක් නෙවෙයි. මේ බ්‍රෝකන් සිස්ටම් එක, මේ මොඩල් එක චේන්ජ් කරන්න හදන, මේ බ්‍රෝකන් සිස්ටම් එක ෆික්ස් කරන්න හදන කෙනෙක්ගේ ජර්නි එක ගැන කතාවක්. මේ ඇප් එක නිසා අද ගොඩ දෙනෙක් ගොඩක් දේවල් දැනගන්න නැති. ඉතින් දිගටම රැඳිලා ඉන්න. මොකද මේ මාතෘකාවට ඔබට ගිහිල්ලා තවත් මාතෘකා ගොඩක් ගැන අපි කතා කරන්න සූදානම්, එක්ස්ප්ලෝර් කරන්න සූදානම්. So එපිසෝඩ් එකෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන් වැදගත්ම කාරණේ තමයි අද පටන් ගන්න දේ. ඒක කෙටි පුංචි ස්ටෙප් එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, ලොකු ස්ටෙප් එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ස්ටෙප් එකේ ස්ටෙප් එකක්ම තමයි. Go for it and start now. So make sure to follow PodX on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and also TikTok. And also you can follow up us on the website dextore.lk. For more real conversation like this, අපිට එක සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න පුළුවන් අපේ මේ description එකේ සඳහන් කරලා තියෙන links වලින්. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining with us. This is PodX by Dextore.